I didn't need peace. I needed you. You were the scar I wore proudly. You wrecked me like you were meant to. Even your lies felt like love. You broke me, and I bloomed from it. You were the ache I never wanted to numb. You touched places no one knew existed. Our love was a beautiful mistake I'd make again. You were the fire I walked into smiling. Some people burn you open. Thank God you did. We didn't end. We transformed. You weren't a chapter. You were the rewrite. I didn't lose you. I returned to myself. You're the ghost that still feels warm. You loved me loud in silence. I met my shadow through your love. You weren't safe, but you were sacred. Your love broke timelines. I didn't need forever. I needed real. You loved me wrong, but you saw me right. You ruined me in all the right ways. I'd fall for your soul in every lifetime. You weren't mine, but you were meant for me. I don't regret you. I remember you. Your love wrote itself in my silence. You cracked my heart. Light leaked in. I saw truth in your chaos. You taught me love doesn't always stay. You were never mine to keep, only to feel. I felt seen, even while breaking. You weren't my person, you were my portal. I bled poems after you left. You held my darkness without flinching. You were the wound and the wisdom. You didn't stay, but you never truly left. I loved you until it hurt beautifully. You weren't gentle, but you were honest. I remember how your silence felt. You were the mirror I broke for truth. Even your goodbye held love. You made the pain feel poetic. You were the cost of my awakening. You made every heartbreak feel holy. I don't miss you. I miss who I became with you. We were doomed and divine. You weren't forever, but you were everything. I drowned in you willingly. You broke me open, not apart. You felt like danger wrapped in destiny. We were more feeling than fact. You were the prayer I should have never answered. Even your absence has a heartbeat. You kissed my loneliness like you meant it. You were never mine, but my soul claimed you. You were a chapter my heart refuses to close. I loved you like it was my last lifetime. You're the kind of love that ruins logic. You made me want to risk everything again. You weren't perfect. You were permission. I let you in because you knocked like destiny. You were the ache I didn't know I needed. I wasn't healed, but I was whole with you. You held my chaos like it was art. I trusted your damage more than their promises. Your love was my favorite disaster. Even pain tasted like purpose with you. You left, but your love still lingers in my breath. I don't want safety. I want soul stirring. You haunted me into becoming. You made my loneliness feel seen. I knew you'd end me. I still opened wide. You weren't a mistake. You were the lesson I craved. You were wild, and I called that love. I never fit into forever until you broke it. We never had peace, but we had truth. You touched the part of me I never showed. You were heartbreak and holy ground. I still feel you in my quietest hours. You made me love my ache. We didn't last, but we mattered. You didn't stay, but you made me feel real. You were destruction disguised as devotion. I loved you beyond logic or lifetimes. You were the calm inside my collapse. I never needed answers, just your hands. You were fire in a world full of lukewarm. We weren't safe, but we were sacred. You didn't complete me, you challenged me. I risked my peace for your presence. You held my wounds like relics. I called your damage beautiful and meant it. Your chaos taught me how to breathe again. You never loved me gently, and that's how I knew it was real. I touched divinity through your flaws. We didn't need time. We needed depth. I didn't need more time. I needed one more look. You were pain that felt like prophecy. I walked through your fire and became light. You didn't love me like others. You loved me like storms love land. You were never a choice. You were a calling. You're the kind of chaos my soul has prayed for in silence. I'd ruin my peace for a love like yours. Even your damage feels like destiny to me. You're the heartbreak I'd choose again and again. You wrecked me beautifully. I'd let you do it twice. Some storms feel like home. You were one of them. I knew you'd break me. I still opened my arms. You were a fire I wanted to burn in forever. Loving you felt like drowning in light. You're the pain I don't regret surviving. I didn't fall in love. I surrendered. You tasted like a mistake my soul remembered. I would have died in your arms, smiling. You were never safe, but you were real. I saw your demons and kissed them. You were my favorite sin in every lifetime. I didn't want perfect. I wanted you. Loving you was poetry in ruin. I knew it would end. I still dived in. You touched me where silence lived. Even your silence said my name. Your chaos made me feel alive. I felt God in your flaws. If danger had a heartbeat, it'd sound like yours. You weren't mine, but I loved you like you were. Your goodbye still echoes in my bones. You were a war I'd die in again. My soul remembers yours from lifetimes ago. You held me like I was already breaking. You were love and a warning. I saw forever in your damage. You kissed the ache in me. We met in this life to finish something unfinished. I was never afraid of you, only of losing you. You're the kind of danger angels whisper about. My wounds knew your name before my mouth did. You weren't safe, but you were sacred. You haunted me beautifully. You didn't stay, but you awakened me. I'd walk through fire if you were the smoke. Even your silence was seductive. We weren't meant to last, but we were meant to matter. You touched me in ways no one saw. Your love broke me open and called it healing. I whispered your name like a prayer and a curse. I knew loving you meant bleeding. I loved anyway. You were my softest destruction. I never wanted safe. I wanted soul. You didn't heal me. You revealed me. I'd rather cry over you than feel nothing. You cracked me open so the light could find me. You were written in my scars before we met. I'd risk every calm for your chaos. You left, but your ghost stayed gentle. Your love felt like remembering something forgotten. I loved you like you'd never leave. You're the reason I believe in past lives. Even your goodbye felt sacred. You hurt me honestly, and I needed that. You never belonged to me, but I belonged to you. Your soul spoke in a language mine understood. You left fingerprints on my healing. I knew you'd destroy me, and I still wanted you. We weren't right. We were necessary. You didn't complete me. You cracked me open. I'd rather shatter with you than be whole without you. You weren't safe, but you were soul. Our love never fit, but it burned beautifully. I was addicted to the ache of you. You're the one I'd fall for, even blind. You weren't perfect. You were mine. I saw God in your chaos. You made my demons feel seen. I didn't lose you. You returned to the stars. You weren't my lesson. You were my mirror. I'd choose your storm over anyone's sunshine. You didn't stay, but you stayed inside me. You were the dream that ruined sleep. My soul said yes before I could speak. You weren't love, you were awakening. If this touched your soul, don't scroll, like, comment your favorite quote, and subscribe for more. I burned for you, even in your absence. You were a wound I kissed open. I still taste the goodbye in my chest. You weren't mine, but you were meant. Your shadow still dances in my dreams. I loved you in silence, louder than screams. Your name is carved in my healing. Even our silence had chemistry. You were the ache that felt holy. My heart broke beautifully for you. I chose you, even when it hurt. You were the prayer I whispered in pain. You didn't destroy me, you revealed the fire. Our chaos made more sense than their peace. I see your face in places you've never been. You were the storm I called home. I loved you in a way that ruined me right. I'd let you break me softer next time. You weren't the end, you were the beginning of me. Your love tattooed my soul in stardust.